हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं क्लास 12th का बायोलॉजी का बोर्ड क्वेश्चन पेपर विद द कोड 57/7/1। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ दिस section is, what are minisatellites? Minisatellites are actually the non-coding repetitive sequence. So the answer here, this option is incorrect because within the genes, it is given within the genes, and the genes are the coding sequences. Again, coding repetitive sequences, and here also coding strands of DNA. So the correct answer is short non-coding repetitive sequences. Next is question number 2. Identify the incorrect statement regarding PCR. PCR means polymerase chain reaction, and in which two sets of primers are required during polymerization. This is correct. The process of replication is repeated multiple times to produce 1 million copies. This is also correct. Thermostable DNA polymerase is used for extension of primers. This is also correct. Annealing is required to separate both the strands of template strand. This is not correct, and denaturation is required. Question number 3. The following information is about drugs and tobacco. Select the correct statement from the options given below. Cocaine is given to patients after surgery as it stimulates recovery. Chewing tobacco lowers blood pressure and heart rate. Barbiturates, when given to criminals, makes them tell the truth. And morphine is often given to persons who have undergone surgery as a painkiller. In this, you are supposed to tell the correct statement. Cocaine is not given to patients after surgery as it stimulates recovery. No. And chewing tobacco lowers blood pressure. This is also wrong. It increases the blood pressure and makes them tell the truth. This is also wrong. And morphine is often given to persons who have undergone surgery as a painkiller. Fourth question is, given below are the events that are observed in an artificial hybridization program. Arrange them in the correct sequential order and select the correct option. So, the answer of this question should be, first is selection of parents, second is emasculation, then third is, I hope this will be correct answer, second, fifth, third, sixth, fourth one. Second, fifth, third bagging, then collection of pollens from male parents, then dusting the pollens on the stigma, and rebagging. Yes, this is the correct option. B option is correct for this question. Next is, what is the following conditions correctly describes the manner of determining the sex in the given options? Homozygous 6 chromosome ZZ determine female sex in birds. ZW determines. Exotype of chromosome determines male sex in grasshopper. This is correct. Exo condition in humans determine female sex. No. XY condition. Homozygous 6 chromosomes XX produce male in Drosophila. That is XY. So this is the only statement which correctly describes the manner of determining the sex in the given options. Choose the option that corrects. Sixth question is, choose the option that correctly describes the gynoecium of Michelia, multicarpellary and apocarpus. This is sixth question, and the answer of this is A option. Next is, the given graph shows the range of variations among population members for a trait determined by multiple genes. If this population is subjected to disruptive selection for several generations, which of the following distributions is most likely to result? There are three types of selection. One was stabilizing, then directional, and third disruptive. In disruptive case, there are two peaks in the graph. So we have to select the graph with two peaks, and this is option C. Next question. Question number 8. Which one of the following immune system completes does not correctly matches with the respective role? Interferons secreted by virus infected cells. This is correct. Macrophages, mucus secreting cells. Macrophages do not secrete mucus. Goblet cells in the lining of digestive tract, respiratory tract, they secrete the mucus. So this is incorrect, we are supposed to find out. This will be the correct answer. B lymphocyte produces antibodies in response to pathogen. This is also correct. And IgA in colostrum. This is also correct statement. 9. Which one of the following is not the product of transgenic experiment? Pest resistant crop variety, high nutritional value in grains, and drought resistant crops. These three are the product of transgenic experiment, but this is because of recombinant DNA technology. The answer of this question 9 is option D. A biologist studied the population of rats in a granary and he found that average natality was 280, average mortality was 200, immigration was 40 and emigration was 50. The net increase in population. Formula is N is equal to B plus I minus D minus E. B stands for birth rate, I for immigration, D for death rate, and E for emigration. So 280 plus immigrants are 40 plus minus death rate is 200 minus emigration is 50. 280 plus 40, that is 320 minus 200, 120, 120 minus 50, 70. The answer is 70. Question number 11. It's a direct question. India has only 2.4% of the world's land area, but its share of the global species diversity is 8.1%. There is nothing to think. Question number 12. One of the following, select the correct match. Transgenic cow milk, human beta lactalbumin protein, beta. It is alpha lactalbumin protein. ELISA, antigen antibody interaction, correct. Corn borer, cry 2AB. It is cry 1AB. Cotton plant, meladogene incognitia, no. It should be tobacco plant. So answer of this question 12 is B. Now there are some assertion reason type question. Two statements are given and out of these 4 options, one option is correct. Question number 13. Swiss cheese is characterized by large holes due to CO2 production. This is correct. It is ripened by growing a specific fungi. No. It is ripened by bacterium and the name of bacterium is Propionibacterium shermani. Assertion is correct, reason is wrong. Assertion is true, reason is false, and the option C is correct for question number 13. Question number 14. Replication of DNA takes place in S phase of the cell cycle. This is correct statement. DNA replication and the cell division cycle should be highly coordinated. This is also correct. Replication of DNA takes place in S phase of the cell cycle because DNA replication and cell division cycle should be highly coordinated. It means this reason perfectly explains this assertion, and the answer of this question is A. Question number 15. A male individual always inherits hemophilia from his mother. Yes, because the male individual, the hemophilic male individual, will be having the genotype XHY, and X the male gets from the mother. The gene for hemophilia lies on X chromosome. This is already given here. Assertion is correct, reason is correct, reason perfectly express the assertion. Answer is A. Question number 16. A piece of DNA inserted into an alien organism generally does not replicate if not inserted into a chromosome. It is correct. Chromosome having specific sequences called origin where DNA replication is initiated. This is also correct. Answer is A, because Ori region initiates the DNA replication. And assertion reason type questions are over now. Name the Indian crop variety for which in 1997 an American company got patent right through the US Patent and Trademark Office. Indian crop variety. See, this is of 2 marks. So at least half mark you will get for this. It is Indian Basmati. This is considered as a case of biopiracy. Justify. Actually, this variety was produced by plant breeding program between the Indian Basmati and semi-dwarf variety. Of American origin into the Indian crop variety. So this is the reason. State 2 purposes for which the Indian government has set up GEAC. Number 1, to ensure the validity of research. Number 2, to assess the safety of introducing genetically modified organisms in the society. So for these 2 points you will be getting 2 marks. From the mother's womb, explain. 4 points are to be given as that is of 2 marks. Number 1, neuroendocrine mechanism. Second point you can write that fully developed fetus sends signal to the brain which induce mild contraction. Which in turn release oxytocin, and because of release of oxytocin, what happens? It triggers the contraction of uterus and stronger contraction of uterine muscles occur. So this way you are supposed to write the answer. Give reasons for the following. Why can a woman generally not conceive a child after 50 years of age? 50 years of age means menopause, low level of estrogen and progesterone, and no more eggs available for fertilization. Polar bodies are formed during oogenesis and not during spermatogenesis, because during the oogenesis what happens, there is unequal division which give rise to unequal division, and because of this unequal division what happens, a large female gamete and one smaller polar body is formed. Large female gamete and small polar body. This female gamete consists of large amount of cytoplasm. Large amount of cytoplasm. See, 19th question. A few stages and their respective time period in the evolutionary history of human beings are mentioned in the following flow chart. And 15 million years ago, primates walking like gorillas and chimpanzees existed. Then 3 to 4 million years ago, man-like primates walked in Eastern Africa and fossils of their bones were discovered. So first question is given there in the bracket: A, B, C and D. A. Primates walking like gorilla and chimpanzees existed. The answer is Ramapithecus. Man-like primates walked in Eastern Africa. Fossils of their bones were discovered. The B part. Name one place where fossils of primates were discovered in Eastern Africa. So the answer of this B part is Tanzania. This ancestor lived in the East African grasslands and ate fruits. Who is this? Australopithecus. पहले Dryopithecus, उसके बाद Ramapithecus, उसके बाद Australopithecus. And this hominid had a brain size of 900 cc and probably ate meat, that is Homo erectus. So this question is also done. Now, body responds. First, the human body recognizes the pathogen. Then, after recognition, antibodies are produced. After antibodies, in future, if again the same antigen attacks, then memory cells produce antibodies, fight off with the infection, and protect the body, protect the individual. So 4 points are given. This is number 1, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Next question है, humans have innate immunity for protection against pathogens that may enter the gut along with the food. What are the 2 barriers in our body that protect it from pathogen? Very simple question, 2 marks. First, 2 barriers. One is physical barrier and second is physiological barrier. The food enter the gut. Sorry, the pathogen may enter the gut along with the food. So, mucus is the first line of defense. Mucus is produced by the goblet cells in the lining of epithelium. So you can write this much only, mucus. And in physiological, you can write saliva secreted by the salivary glands in the buccal cavity, and you can write HCl in the stomach. So this is the physiological barrier. 2 marks question, half this one, half for this, half for this, and half for any one of this. Next question. A karyotype of a human suffering from a certain disorder is given below, and in this diagram you can see 23 pairs of chromosomes are given. If we consider these chromosomes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth and up to 22, 22nd chromosome तक सब ठीक है, लेकिन जो 23rd chromosome है उसमें आप देखोगे this X chromosome is additional, extra copy of this X chromosome. Okay, it should be only XY. Identify the disorder. So the disorder is Klinefelter's syndrome. Then write the symptoms of this disorder. Second point. Only this carries only half mark. So only one symptom you can write. Gyneco. Reduced fertility, you can also write reduced fertility. Only one symptom is to be given. Give reason for such a disorder. See, this extra copy of X chromosome is because of failure of non-disjunction of chromosome during the gamete formation, that is during meiosis. You can also call this as meiotic non-disjunction. So these are the answers of this question. Section C. A village health worker was taking a session with women, and she tells them that one has to be careful while using oral pills as a method of birth control. Wrong usage can actually promote conception. Analyze the above statement and compare the merits and demerits of using oral pills and surgical method. So first is merits of oral pills. Oral pills. Number 1, highly effective. And number 2, reversible method. Demerits of oral pills. Do not provide protection against STD, sexually transmitted disease, or you can say STI, sexually transmitted infection. And the second demerit is that there are side effects. In the body there may be hormonal changes, side effects. Okay, oral pills. And now the merits and demerits of surgical method. Surgical method merits. First, highly effective. And no hormonal changes in the body. merits of surgical method are demerits. First is it is not reversible, irreversible. And you can write same demerit of oral pill here, that is does not provide protection against STD or STI, sexually transmitted disease or sexually transmitted infection. Question number 23. The process of evolution of different species in a given geographical area starts from a point and literally radiates to other geographical area. Explain it with an example. Starts from a point and literally radiates to other geographical areas. It means this is adaptive radiation. And explain it with an example. Example you may give Darwin finches. And in Darwin finches what happens? A single species evolve into many different species or many varieties with adapted beaks on the basis of food habit. Like seed-eating birds and fruit-eating birds, so they have different type of beak. Second question, cite an example where more than one adaptive radiation has occurred in an isolated geographical area. Name the type of evolution, your example. Now, an example is asked and the type of evolution. Example, Australian marsupials. And the type of evolution, convergent evolution. Next question है 24th question. A segment of DNA PTG, AGG, GGG and ATG was translated into an oligopeptide with the amino acids lysine, serine, proline and tyrosine. PTG, write the codons in correct sequence for the 4 amino acids. Very simple. Codons, it means you have to use uracil in place of adenine, in place of thymine. Thymine, it means adenine, A, C. Adenine, it means uracil, C, C. GGG, C, C, C. ATG, that is U, A, C. So, codons are these. Then if first adenine in the DNA is substituted by guanine, what will be the sequence of amino acids in the new oligopeptide? First adenine is this, and if this is replaced by guanine, then what will happen? It will be GGG. GGG, and you already know in the question it is given that GGG is responsible for proline. So, what will be the sequence of amino acids in the new oligopeptide? Now it will be lysine and proline, again proline and tyrosine. It will be, I write lysine, proline, and tyrosine. Write the anticodons for these amino acids. For TTG, now for amino acids, AAC, UCC. AAC का होगा adenine thymine. UG, AG, G. CCC means G, 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 and UAC means A, U, G. Okay. Now, if you compare these and these, they are similar, but they are different only in case of thymine. I have written here in place of T that U. Otherwise, they are same. A person is suffering from high-grade fever. The symptoms will help to identify if he or she is suffering from typhoid, pneumonia, or malaria. It means this high-grade fever, and on the basis of symptom, we are supposed to identify which disease is this. If it is typhoid, then there should be stomachache, constipation, headache, loss of appetite. If it is pneumonia, then it should be cough, nails and lips turning blue. And if this is malaria, then chills and high fever. Recurring after 3-4 days. Recurring every 3-4 days. So this way you are supposed to write the answer. Now question number 26. What are transgenic animals so called? Why are transgenic animals so called? Transgenic animals are called so because their genome is altered by genes of another species. That is why they are called transgenic animals. With the help of an example each, explain the role of transgenic animals in the following. Like for vaccine safety, yes. Vaccine safety के लिए transgenic mice are used for testing the vaccine safety, effectiveness and drug and side effect. Biological products, like for biological product transgenic cow. Actually, these transgenic animals are engineered in such a way that they can be used for human welfare, like for testing the vaccine safety, or some useful products can be obtained from them. Useful product like human milk protein, alpha lactalbumin. It is obtained from the transgenic cow. Next is mention any two advantages of micropropagation techniques. Any two advantages of micropropagation techniques. First is Number one is soma clones, or you can say genetically identical. Genetically identical plants are produced. Micropropagation is actually performed in plants only. And second is disease-free plants are produced. Write in brief how the process is carried out in the lab. Very simple. Number one, selection of plants या selection of parents, और यहाँ parents को हम बोलते हैं X plants. Then aseptic environment is provided. And then third is soma clones are produced. Soma clones means genetically identical. Any two important food plants grown commercially by this method, simple: apple, banana, and one more was there, apple, banana, tomato. Name the type of food chains responsible for the flow of larger fraction of energy in an aquatic ecosystem and a terrestrial ecosystem, respectively. Mention any two differences between these two food chains. There are two types of food chains. One is grazing food chain, another is detritus food chain. Aquatic के लिए हम बोल सकते हैं grazing food chain. And for terrestrial, detritus food chain. Grazing food chain begins with producer. This begins with consumer. Here, source of energy is sunlight. In this case, source of energy is decomposed dead organism. So this way I have finished up to section C of this set of question paper.